Hello, everyone. I am Elena Valdez. I am here to do the monthly tarot reading for the parents, guardians, and caretakers of the Aries child. Now, before we get started, I just would like to ask you to please subscribe, like the channel, share it, tell people about it. There aren't a lot of other child tarot card readers out there, and I think I'd like to share this channel with other people. Anyhow, so we're gonna get into the energy here for the Aries child. And again, this reading is for the parent, guardian of the Aries child for the month of December. Can you believe how quickly that's already come up? Crazy, right? Okay, so let's get started. I hope everyone is having a good time these days, considering all the limitations that we are under currently. But I hope everyone watching is healthy and doing well. Okay, so the first card will represent how the Aries child is feeling during the month of December. Or what they are experiencing, I should say. And this is a really good card to get right out of the gate. So you've got the Four of Wands. And the Four of Wands is a very, very happy home feeling. So this tells me that your child, your little one, and a couple of things I do want to say here that I forgot to mention. Number one, this is not a gender-specific channel. You will hear me use gender pronouns, he, she, they, but that's just more for ease of the read. But please apply it to how it most resonates for you and your household. And also, the age range is going to vary here, right? So some of you are here for itty-bitty little ones, and some others of you are here for little older kiddos too. So just apply, switch, some of the circumstances and situations depending on how it works for you. Okay, so going back to the card. So Four of Wands is actually a great card to get, because what this tells me is that your Aries child, the way they are experiencing the environment is very positive. Now, one thing I want to remind you here, because I have people in the past say to me, well, I'm not sure how they are experiencing that in such a great manner because it's been horrible and we've had money issues and we've had this issue and I've lost my job and what have you, right? But remember, this is from the perspective of the child. So this is not about what is actually going on in your household, right? Because you may be feeling the grunt of it and the burden and the stress as the parent. However, your child, the way they are experiencing things could be quite different, right? So here, your Aries child feels content, feels that his or her environment is complete with the adults that need to be there with him or her. So it could be, if your child lives with you or the grandparent or what have you, or other siblings, the child is happy with whatever your family makeup is. Okay, so this is really beautiful. Congratulations on that. Whatever it is you're doing to create that space, you're doing a great job. So kudos to you. Okay, so let's move on. And this is the challenge. So this is the challenge that your little one is having during the month of December. And this is the Ace of Pentacles. And the Ace of Pentacles is about starting new projects, learning, it also has to do, in terms of the child perspective, it's about new chores, new assignments as well, like the types of assignments they get from a teacher, or any responsibilities that are adequate for the age range of your child, right? And here, your child is having a difficult time. Aries is having a difficult time focusing on responsibilities or on any new assignment that potentially has been given to him or her. And it's probably because they're just having a ton of fun. They're really very much enjoying themselves. So you may notice a little bit of a challenge. Also, another thing here, to mention, the Ace of Pentacles can also refer to value and self-worth. So for a group of you, it is going to be about, not wanting to, not really motivating to get new assignments given to him or her done, new chores and whatnot. But for others, you may have a situation where your child is potentially struggling with self-worth and value. Although, quite honestly, that second one is going to be a little bit more rare. I think it'll be for less, not for most of you watching because of this, right? Because the child is able to enjoy himself, right? That he's having a blast in December. They're happy, they're content. So I think what this is, it's more so towards the side of they're having a hard time getting the chores done, the work done. There will be a handful of you who are dealing with a child with a little low self-esteem or realizing their self-worth, which we'll come back to. At the end, I'll pull an advice card, and usually it always ties into the challenge because it gives you some insight on how to deal with that. But these are just themes to be aware of, right? So in terms of the challenge doesn't have to be a negative thing as the parent and guardian. In the context of the child tarot reading, it's really more about being aware and, paying attention to these details, little things that may come up during the month of December. And in this case, you may have, issues with the child getting started. But anyhow, you're going to deal with that in the way that you know is necessary, obviously, right, for your household. So let's see what it is. I feel this is the most important position of my readings. This position is what your child needs most from you during the month of December. For me, this is really what matters here, right? Because we want to know, is there anything we need to do for them? Is there something my child is lacking or needing from me? And this right here, the Lovers, is all about intimacy and closeness, right? Obviously, we're reading it from the context of a child perspective. So we're not literally looking at it from a lover's perspective. This is different. This is intimacy, because at the crux of it, the Lovers card is about intimacy. So that can mean, having, working with your child with his or her homework, a little bit more physical closeness, meaning playing a little bit more. There is a need here. Your child needs, and this here is a very lonely card in the sense that whatever this challenge is, it is something he's kind of dealing with on his own. So it makes sense that for what your child needs most from you in the month of December is union, partnership, hanging out with him a little bit more than usual. There is a sense here of needing to play more openly and play also in open air. So if there's a park near you, or if you are one of the fortunate ones who has a yard during this time, during COVID and pandemic, then your child is very much in need of getting out into nature more than usual during the month of December, which, depending on where you live in the world, right, that could pose a bit of a problem if you have real weather. Here where I live in California, we hardly have any weather. So it's pretty much summer during December, which is great, right? Because we get to get out and go to the beach still if we want to. But for those of you who are not able to do that in December, figuring out something creative to do to get their minds feeling and thinking as if they were experiencing nature indoor. So that's up to you to get creative about how you want to do that. But that is what your child needs most from you during the month of December. This is actually a very good read. I like it. The bottom line feeling that I'm getting here is that your little one is, their heart space, their heart chakra is very open. And actually that's usually when you'll notice we as adults might interpret it as being needy, right? But when a child is actually a little bit more open to affection than usual, it means that their heart chakras are open. And that's a great opportunity to get closer to your child. So this is going to be a little bit more than usual than you've experienced. But the great thing about being in your heart chakra is that you have a child that's more sensitive than usual. more compassionate also towards other people. You're going to notice also with the Lovers card, your child in December is going to need more friendships, more intimacy with closeness with their mates, right? So whether it'll be their siblings, their classmates or neighbors, whatever it is, whatever you have in your household, right? But on the flip side, because they are so heavily in their heart space, which is beautiful, but that is also acting as a bit of a distraction here, right? From doing those things that are, grounded responsibilities, if you will, or getting started on new projects or assignments and chores, as I mentioned before. Okay, so I'll leave that there and I will move on to your advice card. And I think I want to pull a card from this deck. Now, this advice card is for you, the parent, the guardian. And I have already actually shuffled all of these cards, but give it a little more here. And although this card is for you, the parent, with the advice card, it is usually in relationship to your child and what your child needs, or the challenge that your child is going through. So let's see what Spirit has in terms of an advice card for you. And that one fell right out. So let's see what it is. Oh, the moon. Oh, yes, this is a very nurturing card. Also, it's about going inward kind of bit. It's a bit of an isolated card. It's very dreamy, right? Here, let me show this to you. Look how beautiful that is. It's also about information and secrets being revealed. But in this context, it's more about information. It's also, the moon also represents the sign of Cancer, which is the most nurturing sign in the zodiac. And this could just mean, in terms of an advice card, to really allow yourself as the parent to be in that feminine, receptive mode. You may be receiving a lot of affection from your little Aries more than usual, because the moon is about receiving. Yes, it is about giving also, right? But I think for me, what I'm picking up here is to be mindful of your little Aries when they are showing you affection during the month of December, to be open to it more than you usually are. Again, no gender here, so that you could be the father, the mother. There's a need here to lean more towards your feminine side, because that is the moon after all. The moon is very receptive. It waits patiently. It's dreamy. It's also about allowing yourself to be in that space more so than this, responsibility space. It feels like your family in its entirety is going to be a bit more vulnerable this month. And that's not a negative. It doesn't have to be for a negative reason. It could just be maybe everyone's on vacation and you don't have your usual responsibilities of work or school work. And so it's allowing you to pause and have more love than you usually do, right? More coming together with the family. But there is a sense of nurturing here also for you, the parent. You yourself are needing some maternal love here. So whatever that means to you, it could mean your self-love. It can also mean that you yourself need to reach out to your mother or whatever parent is the maternal figure for you. There's a sense here that you really need that. Because at the end of the day, however you are allowing yourself to be in this space with your maternal parent, it will affect this flow here. You got a very beautiful card. Alrighty, I am going to leave it there. And I hope this was helpful. And please leave a comment. And please also remember to subscribe. I am very grateful for you stopping by today, and I appreciate you. Bye.